Está salgado la corriente del río. Hay menos para allá porque hay más en la primera ventanilla porque ahí el agua no.
He's gaining speed.
Look at that. Wait, there's a canteen in there.
Looks cool. Yeah,
they like jump and the first jump. He's tired.
That's like the game. They're all tired.
Find out more about the fish.
very end of a public guided tour from the visitor center, and we're going to talk about salmon. So stick around if you're not with me. If you are, find a seat if you can, and let's see what we got here. All right, so you can see up on our slides, we've got 3 different species of salmon here, sockeye, chinook, and coho. What you're seeing in the windows are chinook, who are on the downward slide of their peak time in July, and our coho are just starting to run, but they're very, very active. So we've seen about 22,000 plus of the chinook come through. That's our count as of the September 7th, I think. And then we are already at 14,000 coho coming through. So that's going to be a very good run. Both of these fish are really, really a nice bump in the expected numbers. Puget Sound wide, we're thinking 100 to 150,000 more fish than we had last year. So that's really good news. Okay, so up on that screen you can see the 3 kinds of salmon. If you look on the top of the back, between the dorsal fin and the tail, there's a small fin called the adipose fin. And that means that it's a wild salmon in our windows if you're looking. That's a very, very good thing. Most of these fish are fish hatchery fish. I do see at least one, and you can tell that with that little adipose fin. And it's really remarkable. So state law in Washington, Oregon, California, Canada as well, says if you catch a fish as a sport fisherman with that adipose fin intact, you are required to let them go. You cannot even lift them into your boat, in fact. We want to give wild salmon the most opportunity for success as we can get. We want their genetic material in the mix because they're more resilient than fish hatchery fish. They're problem solvers. They can continue and persevere longer than a fish hatchery fish. They can stay out longer and grow to sizes. Guys, if you could let me talk so everybody can hear, I'd appreciate it. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about salmon. Females have 3,000 to 5,000 eggs in their bodies, and they will use their tail once they get to their stream, their natal stream where they're going to lay those eggs, where they themselves were born. They use their tail horizontally and vertically to flutter a little divot in the gravel. It's called a redd, R-E-D-D. It's a little nest. And she will lay eggs. The male that she chose, because females get the choice, will come alongside her, cover them with milt, and then they will go directly upstream, and they will do it again and again and again and again and again and again until she spends all 4,000 to 5,000 eggs. Every single nest that she cleans progressively forward, all that fine gravel and organic material will float directly downstream and cover the previous nest. So she gives them as much camouflage as she can, right? And then for salmon, it's a one-way trip. This is the way that Mother Nature gets all those nutrients, those deep sea nutrients from the salmon in their bodies, and she puts them in the Pacific Northwest
They're all going
forest.
close. Oh,
So
a
as
rainbow
the fish are carried
jellyfish.
up into the woods by bears and coyotes and raccoons and eaten and sustaining those species, then the rest of that carcass breaks down and is absorbed by the roots of trees and all of
A
that.
baby
flora.
fish.
And we have
A baby
salmon DNA in our trees.
A baby fish.
For this very reason, these are considered a keystone species. And a keystone species is one that is so integral to an ecosystem that without that species, you would not recognize that system. Everybody up the food chain and down the food chain benefits from the success of this species. So if they're very successful, if they're thriving, that's a good thing. Everybody's thriving. If they're not, if they're under stress, then the whole system is under stress. Does anybody know the #1 keystone species on this planet? Small. Honeybees. Honeybees. Honeybees affect every ecosystem on this planet. You will not recognize our Earth if we do not have them, period. We are that interconnected. Okay, so you can see how far some of our salmon go out into deep water.